Paw Prince, back this time for the karmic reading. I do read with intuition and I do read for the collective, so not everything will always resonate. With that said, let's get on and see what's going on with the karmic. So, what's going on with the karmic? So, what's going on with the karmic? 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 So, lovely. So, right. Currently, shit's starting to hit the fan. The fire's rising, and it's kind of they're now starting to feel a bit of heat under their feet. The fire hasn't caught up with them fully, but they're kind of feeling heat. It's like lies and deceit that were there by them is now being seen for what it is, and that's kind of what's causing the fire under their feet. They are trying to detach themselves and say that's not what it is, people are just starting trouble, or that's not what I meant it to come across like, you're just making it this way in your head because you're trying to make things difficult. And it's they're now clinging on to the DM. They're clinging on to fill them with more poison, hoping that they're not immune yet, that they're not immune to their venom, that they're going to keep injecting it to poison their mind, if that makes sense. And it's this protection they feel they haven't actually got. It's kind of breaking down, and when it breaks, they're not going to be protected. There's going to be cracks in the armour and chinks in the chainmail, and all shit's going to hit the fan and come crashing down on them. And they're not only going to be left alone, they're going to be left vulnerable, and they're going to have no one to turn to, and they're going to run back into their little hole and kind of devise a new plan. And it's like they are turning to themselves, and this reminds me of the mirror from Snow White. It's like mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And and it's like the mirror's the DM. It's not like they're not saying it to the DM. It's like in their head, and they're picturing what the DM will say, and the DM's always going to say the DF. And the karmic are trying their hardest to get rid of thoughts of the DF, or try and cut that tie, so when they ask who's the fairest, they go, you are. But unfortunately, they're not, and they're never gonna be, because there's this connection that's never gonna be able to be severed. And that's what the karmic don't like, because they've never had a connection like this, unlike any other. They're jealous and they're envious, and they have got really bad green eyes, and it's kind of, they are constantly keep asking, who's the fairest of them all? And the answer is the DF. It will always be the DF. Some karmics cannot even understand why it's the DF. And to be fair, some of the DFs I know don't know why it's them. But when you're as far as I am on the journey, I've kind of, I know I'm in union with mine, but we're also, it's not perfect. Like anyone that thinks you're going to come into union with your DM and be like, well, that's great, that's perfect, it's grand. It's not. Because you still have challenges and you still have journeys and lessons. It doesn't just stop the moment you come back in, and it's not an easy ride. And we have got our own lessons, our own journeys, and we're still facing challenges. But it's how you... The difference is just how you tackle them. And the reason... Because some of you be like, you're way too young. Like I said before, it's not about an age. Because, as you know, with the twin flame journey, it's over lifetimes. Some people can't handle it this lifetime, so it's spanning into others. And the earlier you find out, it's because your soul has learned enough to be able to handle it. And the thing is, I've always said, and everyone around me always says, I'm an old soul. With the things I am and the way I am and the things I want is very old-fashioned, and it's very old-souled. And my mum, my family, and people I know all think I've been around a lot longer on this earth, if you like. And there was another man, I don't know his name, that was saying that older souls find out early because they've processed it and they're able to handle it. And I'm one of those. I've had it confirmed that I'm twin flame a while back. I've also, by two people, I've had my struggles, not as many as others, in this lifetime, but there's no such thing as truly healing every trigger, because there'll always be something else that comes along that triggers, but it's how you deal with it, and it's how you move forward together. So yeah, I'm going to get some guidance and advice for you about what's going on with the karmic and what's coming up and stuff like that. So let's get a bit of guidance and advice on this. And the reason I mention me and my DM, because in past experiences with him, one of the conversations we had in the past was he didn't understand at the time why I loved him. This was when we was going through bad, at a point when we was going through bad, and we had a break. Then we got like talking again. Since that, there was this was a while back, and there was breaks, and then back to speaking, how the journey goes. But at this point, we was in between two breaks when we were speaking, like a break before and a break after. But in between, he said to me he didn't get why I still loved him, and why, over everything he's done to me, why do I still pick him? And it's because when you know you're twin flame, and there's only 140,000 in existence on this earth plane, as it's such a rare journey, we know, but when you meet them, it's like lightning. It's like the movies, like everything's in slow motion. You've got that instant connection. It's unlike any other. Nothing you'll ever experience the same. And it's so hard to explain to people that don't get it. It's just, you don't know how to explain it. It's just, it is them. So with that said, I rant on. Can I have some guidance and advice about the karmic? I don't mean to ramble on, I'm just quite passionate about this because it's something quite personal to me. So when I get passionate about things, I tend to talk about it excessively. So can I have some guidance about the karmic? So they are going to turn to people closest to them. They're going to turn to people closest to them, giving them ideas on how to take more control. They've kind of got no passion at the moment, and they're not going to have passion. They're kind of trying to take control, and it's kind of, they're going to victimise things that's happened in their past and in the DM's past. They're going to try and make it that the DM was the victim. with their experiences, and the karmic's going to make out they're the victim in their experiences. Everyone's a victim. They never take control for their actions, and they never take responsibility for their actions, and they're going to get the DM to try and not take responsibility for their actions. And it's kind of going to make them think that they're back in control, they're back, got their armour on, but it's all lies. And it's kind of, the DM's not going to fall for it, because the DM, now that the DS have walked away, it's kind of giving them, like I've said, a light under their arse, and it's kind of, the DM's going to start to see through what the karmic's doing, and it's kind of going to be in their head that the karmic's going to think, oh yeah, I've took back control, but they haven't really. And there's going to come a point, and it's not that far off, where they're going to be, majority of the DMs are going to put their karmic down and kind of, I think, have some alone time, really figure things out, really figure what they want, and really try and progress. Progress themselves. So yeah, that's what I'm picking up for you. Thanks for watching.